Welcome everybody to another video. This video is called Protection, and if you're not caught up with the other videos, then you might not understand, but I suggest that you go back and watch the other videos so your consciousness is solidified in a sense. And let's get into this notes and everything that I have. So the reason I named the video Protection is because I'll be acknowledging different ways of protection that people have like taught or provided through, say, the music or the movies. And for example, I've been trying to explain the different enemies out there, like Men in Black, people in general, and etc. That way there's awareness of what's going on because people have utilized brainwash, also known as MK Ultra, and waterboarding. Or if you guys don't know what MK Ultra is, it's like basically making a whole different type of mental um, state inside your mind. And then waterboarding is like putting something over your face and then having water over it, and you're like not able to breathe, or water goes through, like you just can't breathe basically from the water. And there's the electric chair that I've been talking about where you get electrocuted, and there's even torture out there, and there's probably several other things out there. But for like, say for example, like the torture, there's like different things where they may have like a raindrop or something, like a drop of water going on your head. That's a form of torture made by the Chinese that people have utilized before. And there's just things that we should be able to acknowledge that may be going on out in the world that we can stop and help other people that may be going through difficult times that we haven't acknowledged yet. So to carry on, the reason it's important to acknowledge is because someone could be experiencing the same situation and have no way out. So if that's the case, then they should be able to speak about it and be protected. And why is like people may have a situation happening, and if we're going to consider Illuminati governments and secret societies and etc., they have their own power in this point of time. So we should acknowledge that us humans should stick together. The reason I use the term human is because we're capable of a lot. We have knowledge, and other beings are human. No other beings are humans. And with that said, the different ways of providing protection could include trust, equipment, and etc. So I'll be going over that. To give background information about the words listed, I'll start off with trust. If someone created their own form of system, it wouldn't make sense if everyone lied to each other. Also, there are people that may not be willing to ride or die, so having a connection established can make a difference. For example, to confirm the truth or lies from someone, there's an invention called the lie detector that can distinguish the truth from a lie. The reason that's a part of trust is because if someone's a spy, for example, they'd have a different identity, so having a bond established can strengthen the bond without worrying who you can trust. Because if someone were to claim they're someone else and they're there for years or whatever, and you finally like put everything like down, and there's just no way of having your own type of system of government going on. Like that's why it'd be better to have uh, a connection that's 100%. That way it's not like, oh, I can't trust this person, or I don't know what they like, some like negative thoughts. Basically it should be like, okay, yeah, I can trust this person. I can like just be able to talk to them or whatever, just because that's that 100% that's provided there. And to carry on to the next topic is equipment. Although there are weapons that can be used, there are different ways to handle situations. For example, there can be tripwires, motion sensors, alarms, and so on and so forth to let someone know that there is an intruder without getting snuck up on. Since it can be a life or death situation for many people out there, for example, if people wanted to figure out who an intruder is, they can use a tranquilizer to interrogate them by implementing the lie detector test. Because if they're oh, I'll explain this. So then ask them why they were there in the first place, because it could be a spy, assassin, stakeout, and so on and so forth. So with that said, at nighttime it'd be less noticeable. So having night vision goggles and an unnoticeable spot can increase the safety and protection, because there are several like different ways that you can be able to go outside at night and everything, but at the same time during the day you'd be able to see everyone and have the um, area just be seen more clearly. Because if you don't have say night vision goggles or something, someone may be able to like EMP or turn off all electricity and you won't be able to see, and it'd just be difficult to find your way around. So it's better just to be prepared for anything that may be out there that may come anyone's way. So uh, it can increase the safety and protection, like I said. So, for example, ways of communicating can be changed, because if it's done by phone or electronic, the phone or electronic could be like phone tap or tap, meaning someone can listen to another person from the electronic by using the audio box that that's used when talking on the phone. So having notes or use of new languages like Morse code or sign language could decrease the possibility of having others be um, acknowledging what's going on, or like they're that way they don't figure out like, oh, what are they saying to each other. Because if you do it on the phone, someone could just like hack into it and be like, hey man, this is what they're talking about, this that blah blah blah. And so it'd be better to be prepared for what could be a possibility in the future. That way you don't have to worry about it, in a sense. So to carry on, the um, it can decrease the possibility of someone with known going on. To give more examples, cameras can provide memory. So having cameras put up can allow someone to backtrack if anything goes wrong. Also, they can provide security like a watchtower, but you need to place it somewhere unnoticeable. That way it doesn't get taken or known. And with that said, the like having the new communication, or say if you can't get to go somewhere, like say for example you could use a say parrot, right? And they can speak English, so you can probably teach them like words, and then they can go send the message in English, or like take that for example, you know what I mean? And there's different things that could follow up with this type of system of government that people can make themselves. Because if it's going to be say um, like a job in a sense, then there could be like shifts or different methods of having everything organized. That way, there's no um, enemy or anyone that's trying to just like break down everything that's already solidified, and that way it doesn't have to have problems in the future. Because if it's like 100% proof, which nothing really is, but to say if it's 100% proof, then it'd be able to sustain whatever problems may come their way, and that way they can be able to like learn from their mistakes and start like, all right, this is something that we can do again, like not again, but something different. Like, all right, yeah, we're prepared for like every other situation. And because if there are other people that have these situations going on, they may be able to implement all these different ideas that are already out there, that may be able to help others become something that they wanted to do. Because in a sense, if you were to look at someone in say the musicians that I'm talking about, like they all have their type of mentality of giving their their own like lessons and all that, like just being able to enlighten another person from the information that they give. And if we were to say think about a time where there were people that were like say philosophers and all that, and they had people that maybe were going after them or they were getting assassinated, then people would be able to protect them. Because in a sense, I've mentioned different things on other musicians and um, movie actors, and there's other people out there. But to use an example, there's um, ways that people can utilize these ideas to be able to create something that we can all pitch in together. That way we can all be able to start something new and be able to utilize the ideas that people have been um, trying to enlighten others with. And with that said, I just like others to be conscious of what I'm trying to do, and that way they understand what I'm trying to accomplish with others, and maybe in the future, not maybe, but just being able to understand that there's another possibility of having a different result happening, instead of having, say, people talking about these situations happening. For example, since I talk about musicians, there's a Kodak Black song that has these two other artists, a man and a woman, but in that song they show Meek Mill in behind these bars, and that's an example of like conspiracies that are out there, or like the Illuminati and all that, because even with the um, claim that they made inside the song, they're like, all right, well, slavery is going to end in about 2018, 2019, or somewhere around there. But like in a sense, it didn't, and there's things still going on that we can resolve and accomplish together. And so with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and had your conscious solidified in a way, and that we I'll see you on the next video. Peace.